Hey, Tim from Budget Bronco. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a fix on the Curt brand wiring harness for a trailer connection. And the reason we have to do a fix is because unfortunately it's here in January 2022, and if you've purchased this harness, it will not work on Broncos like mine, the base Bronco, that have the halogen style taillights. So in this video, I'm going to show you why this harness does not work direct from the manufacturer, and then show you how to fix it and make it work. So let's go. First, just to make it super clear what the difference between the standard or halogen taillights are and look like as compared to the LED or signature taillights. If you have a base, a Big Bend, or a Black Diamond Bronco, your taillights will look like this. This is the standard halogen taillight as shown on this base. If you have a Outer Banks as shown here, or a Badlands, or a Wild Track, or a First Edition, your taillights will look like this. This is the signature LED style taillight. Going back and forth, you can just kind of clearly see the difference. The standard has, for example, the reverse light here down at the bottom. The LED has the reverse kind of integrated into the look of the taillight. There's a pretty clear difference. So the one that does not work is this, the standard halogen style. So I'll explain why the harnesses don't work on halogen lights. This guide published by Ford shows that there is clearly a difference between the LED taillights as shown in this bottom table and the halogen taillights as shown in this top table. The harness was designed to pull the turn light signal from pin 5 on the connector that you'll see in this video. But on the halogen layout, as denoted here by Ford, there is no connection on pin 5. So that's why it works for LED, but does not work for halogen. There's no signal to pull from on pin 5. So when I get into the fix, what you'll see is that we're actually going to switch the wires, pin 3 and pin 5, to more closely mimic the LED style, and that will allow the harness to work properly. Interestingly though, even though this has been out for probably like 6-9 months now, all the websites that sell this harness, for example, the Real Truck harness, says it fits on any Ford Bronco. The e-trailer website says it fits on any 2021 Ford Bronco. For the Tekonsha brand harness, as well as the Curt brand harness, any 2021 Ford Bronco. This is the Curt model right there. The only website that actually recognizes a difference is the Curt website itself, and frankly the only reason why they state that it works on select Ford Bronco and down on the bottom here, Bronco with LED taillights, is because I alerted them to this problem a little more than a month ago, and just in the last week they finally updated their website to show that it only works on some Broncos with LED taillights. So in the meantime, probably hundreds and hundreds of these things have been sold to people like me, where the harness will not work because we have the standard halogen style taillights, and well, it's not going to work. But I will show you how to make it work, and let's do that next. So this is the wiring harness. Everything I'm going to show you here, you have to do to both sides of the wiring harness. I'm not going to show you everything on both of them, but you'll repeat everything on both sides. Let's start with the male side of the connector, the one with the pins. And if you take this, first thing we need to do is number, make sure you know the numbers of all the pins. So take the male side, face it away from you, flat side up, and pin on the top 1, 2 in the middle, 3, and then on the underside, pin 4, 5 in the middle, and then 6. You definitely should get a Sharpie out, number them so you can't possibly mess it up. Again, flat side up, 1, 2, 3 along the top, 4, 5, 6 along the bottom. On the female side, same idea, except this time take the flat side down, and then it's going to be pin 1, 2 in the middle, 3 along the top, and pin 4, 4, 5 in the middle, 6 on this side. So again, flat side down, facing away from you. 1, 2, 3 along the top. 4, 5, 6 along the bottom. And if you want to check and see if you've done it right, again, if you've numbered both sides, go ahead and mate them together, and 6 should match up with 6, 3 should match up with 3, etc. 1 matching up with 1. That way you'll know that you've got all of your pins properly numbered. So go ahead and number your pins on both sides of the harness, and next I'll show you how to actually change pins 3 and 5. So we need to swap the wires on pin 3, which in my case is a red wire. Your colors might be different, so don't go by the colors, go by the pins. Pin 3 and pin 5, which in my case is yellow. Let's do the female side first. You need a tiny little screwdriver, and the first step is to use that screwdriver, and here on this little slot you need to pull up on the, actually I'm going to do it on this side here, pull up on the housing there until it pops up like that. You can see now it's protruding out the end of the connector. That's in that's now loosened everything up a little bit, and then you use something like a paper clip here, or any kind of similar sized thing, and you're going to stick it again, pin 3 here, down into this little hole adjacent to where the connector goes, and you'll feel it kind of click. And once you have that click, if you pull on the wire on the other side, it's going to come out. And kind of take notice of the orientation here, the square side facing down, and the side with this little nub on the top facing up. And then take your paper clip out of pin 3, put it into pin 5, again until you feel that little click. Clip is getting a little, there we go. And then once that is in, gonna reach in here and grab that wire, and similarly it'll pull out. And once you have it out, you're just going to swap them. So I'll put one that came out of 3 into 5. You don't need this paper clip anymore, by the way. That's just to get it out. There we go. Put it all the way back in. When you push it in, you'll hear a click. Maybe you just heard that click. And then let's take this. Now that's going to go into 3. Listen for the click. Click. And then once you've had those swapped and you hear the click when you're putting them back in, this just pushes back in. And that's it. That's done for the female side. Now we'll do the male connector side. If you look down in there, you can see in the center of the connector 2 kind of half moon shaped holes in the connector in between all of the pins. You're going to want to use a pair of needle nose pliers, reach down in there, right into those 2 holes, get the tips of the needle nose pliers in those 2 holes, give it a good squeeze, and then pull out. Didn't quite get it on that first try. Squeeze and pull out. There you go. You'll feel that inside piece of plastic move outwards, and then the pins will be just a little bit exposed. That's in the position now where we can release the pins. So again, 3 is on this top right hand side, looking at it this way. There's a hole right next to pin 3. Put your paper clip down into that hole until you hear a good click, and then once you have that click on the back side, you can pull out the wire just like that. Similarly now pin 5, which is in the middle of the opposite side, in this case it's a yellow for me, looking down in here, the hole right next to pin 5, put your paper clip down into that hole until you get that click, and then it'll come out the back end. So I'm going to now put what was in pin 3 down into pin 5. You don't need the paper clip anymore. You can pull that out. And as I push this down in there, you'll listen for a click. Come at it again. There we go. Hear that click. And then what was in pin 5, I will now put into pin 3. Again, listen for the click. Click. So once you've got both of those swapped out, just use your pliers and we'll push that back into position. And you can see now that the pins are much more exposed in there, and that is complete. So what we just did for the female side and the male side, you want to repeat that exact same process on the other connector, and that is now good to go. Thank you for watching. Hopefully that video was helpful for you. If you like my videos, I appreciate a like and a subscribe down there. And also check my video for the actual installation of the wiring harness as well as the trailer hitch. So thanks for watching.